Hello there. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming back, Darren. Good to see you again. Really enjoyed all of your questions last time. And I'm sure, as you can see, if you looked at the page at all, we've changed a lot. Rob will probably be with us in the next 30 minutes. He's on his way. But I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about anyway. I did see that we got one question. We got one question submitted to us by Ebony Raven, and I found it to be pretty interesting. Rob and I both laughed at it, but it says, I can show it to you guys. Ebony Raven asked, Hypostatic Studios, so she's quoting us here, or they're quoting us here. Hypostatic Studios is an experimental game development startup comprised of an ecstatic collective of game developers. Did you mean eclectic, or you're really also intensely rapturous? Well, definitely both, but we did mean what we said. We're definitely ecstatic to be making this, and we're having a lot of fun with it in the process. Oh, in fact, there's Rob himself. Let's put him on speakerphone.
Hey, yo.
What up, Rob? Yeah, I got your message. We're on the live stream now.
Okay, yep, I'm getting home right now, then I'm gonna get on.
Okay, yeah, we got a couple people watching. Darren is back, and he's hanging out with us.
Nice.
Yep. And then
yep,
I don't know.
I'm gonna be on by 8:30 for sure.
Okay, sounds good. I'll try to keep the troops, rallied and organized.
Yeah, you could maybe do a walkthrough of the new trailer live.
I don't know. I don't know if I can screen share.
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
But I can go through some of the new changes we made.
Sounds good. But yep, feel free to tell them whatever you want. Give them a little show, and I will be on ASAP.
I'll tell them all your dark secrets.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right. We'll see you later, Rob.
What'd you say?
We'll see you later.
All right, sounds good. See you soon.
All right. Bye.
Peace.
All right. So hopefully we'll have Rob in the next half an hour or so. And hopefully I can keep you guys occupied, keep myself occupied, really. So mainly the big things that we got, we posted on the RIT game design boards and showed off our Kickstarter, and we had just a ton of notes, a ton of things people had to say, which we found very, very useful. So we went in and pretty much did an overhaul of the whole entire Kickstarter page. I put another 15 hours into the trailer. So the trailer is now looking pretty snazzy. One of the big things that people were talking about with the trailer was that there's, like, first of all, it was one of the first things you see is white text on a black background, and people found that pretty boring, which, I agree with. I tend to agree with that. So what we decided to go for was sort of a purple opaque version with text on it on top of another video. So it sort of just gave us the opportunity to throw in extra videos underneath and make it a little bit more interesting to look at. So now there's no parts where it's just black screen, And one of the other notes we were getting was people don't really like our typography. And of course, I'm going to sit here and talk about all the design stuff because that's my job. But so if you see on like our main thumbnail, originally the text was just straight up white text in our classic Aparajita font. And people thought that was pretty boring. So I decided to go for a more 3D stone looking effect, which I think looks way cooler, and it gives off a little bit more of the game's vibe, since it's all having to do with marble statues and our marble mech vehicles, and it's a lot of old stonework and stuff like that. But so we are currently finishing up the budget section, the breakdown of how we're going to spend our money. Hopefully, if we receive our full amount, we can continue the game. And there's a breakdown at the bottom, which Rob is still working on, breakdown of exactly what we're going to spend your guys' money on. And then we have stretch goals too. So that's I don't know if that's being a little bit presumptuous, but in case we happen to go over our amount, there are stretch goals. We have tons of cool stuff we really want to do, but of course, we have to scope down a little bit because we are an indie game and we don't have that Bethesda money, unfortunately. But could be in the cards, part of my 5-year plan. But another thing that we like to do during these live streams is we like to give away a t-shirt to anybody who donates during the live stream. So regardless, you don't have to donate to the $75 tier. We will record your name and we will send you a t-shirt. That is the Hypostatic Studios black t-shirt with the Perfect Ear logo on the back. So people are liking those a lot nowadays. And we've got a good amount of orders on those. We've got 2 people who donated during our last live stream and took advantage of the awesome deal. And yeah, we gotta get you guys in here. Gotta get you guys to become a part of it. Let's see. I had some other things I wanted to talk about. I don't know. So for this trailer, we kind of went for more of like a gameplay trailer, and anybody who's subscribed would see our update. And I just talked a bit about how people wanted a gameplay trailer, and we did that. So I mean, a lot of our 15-minute trailer, if anybody happened to see that, a lot of it was just aesthetic shots and just shots of like the level and how everything looks, which granted are very cool, but and I agree with you guys on this, but it doesn't really show us how the game is or what you'll be doing in the game. So we thought it was really important to show as much of the gameplay as possible. So now our trailer's down to 3.5 minutes and it's almost 100% gameplay. So, yeah, our gameplay is, there's the multiplayer, obviously. There's the multiplayer section on the Prosopon, and the Prosopon is the ship, the multiplayer ship where everybody is kind of hubbed on. So the word Prosopon comes from, I believe it's like the face or the mask or the manifestation of the self. And I'm pretty sure that's a Greek word. And I want to call it like a Robism because he just uses all these crazy words that no one's ever heard of, but have like a very specific meaning, which I kind of admire from him because he's just got the most insane vocabulary. So the Prosopon is, like I said, it's like the mask or the face. And that's why if you see the panning shot of the Prosopon right at the very beginning, there's the mask. And like the mask imagery is really another common motif, probably one of the other main ones besides water and eyeballs. I would say water is the number one, eyeballs is number 2, and then got my mom in the background. Big supporter over here. But yeah, so the masks are a really common motif. The masks just sort of, it's showing that there's something different underneath, and that possibly the manifestation of yourself is false or it's manufactured. But so yeah, the Prosopon, we wanted it to sort of be like the manifestation of the self because we want it to be like a very big social aspect, and we want people to use it to socialize. And that's why we sort of call it like a social experiment, because more than anything, us as developers, like we as developers are going to change the multiplayer level based on how you guys use it. So mainly in that, we have to figure out a way to aggregate all this data and figure out what people do. I imagine a lot of it will be with the Marble Mech vehicles, which is pretty cool. If you go on the trailer, you can see all about the Marble Mech vehicles, which basically it's sort of like a racing and battling vehicle gameplay type multiplayer, which in the future we'd really want to make into matchmaking. So hopefully in the Kickstarter alpha, we'll have a working version of that. And the other piece would be the Strata Statue Fight Club. I believe he had a different term for it, but the Fight Club is going to be another thing. There's a really cool video of it with some really cool like fracture breaking effects when you get hit. That's one of my favorite clips. And so that'll be another aspect of multiplayer, as well as the holographic history hall or halls So pretty much there will be a hall with different rooms devoted to different educational aspects that we can't devote an entire single player episode to. So if you see on our tiers, one of the tiers is you get to have a room completely devoted to any topic that you'd like to talk about. If you believe that, maybe there's some social injustice going on in the world that's not being talked about, that's a great place to talk about something like that. Maybe you study, I don't know, particle physics, and there's something you want to tell the world about, some concept that most people don't know about that's really important, So we want to use that aspect to really just let people be themselves and put themselves in the game, and have the rest of the community see who's a part of it, and learn about the other people who are also in their community. So that's mostly what our multiplayer gameplay is all about. And like I said, we would aggregate all of the data and aggregate everything that people are doing and figure out what to spend more time on and what people like more. And I find that, and I'm sure that we'll find in our alpha, will be sort of like a play test opportunity. And we can really just nail down what people find fun about the game and what not. The main thing is, as Darren was talking to us about last time, we have to worry about a lot of stuff when it comes to multiplayer. Multiplayer is kind of takes our project from medium sort of scope to a larger scope, because it's going to involve servers. It's going to involve a lot of different things, and people monitoring things, and we're going to have IT people, tech people, and if we're not hosting our own servers, we'll have to have somebody in contact with whoever's hosting our servers. And that is a real concern. That is something that we have to think about and talk about if it's what we want to release with our Kickstarter alpha. So these are all concerns and all things we're all taking into account. We'll have to get our technical director Pedro here on the live stream at some point, but he's a very busy man at Cornell. And so let's see what else we got. So as far as single player gameplay will mostly take place inside of our 7 episodic psychic worlds, where if you have read into the overarching aspects of the game and the overarching themes, you would know that it's based on a man who's dying in the present times, and he gets himself cryogenically frozen, and he's woken up in the year 8128, which is the last perfect number known to the Greeks. So in our game, in this year, 8128 is the year that humanity is decided to try to perfect itself. So in doing so, they basically try to meld people's minds together, and so Rob sort of figured out how, pretty much in like a sci-fi story, to add these different types of pseudoscience and bits of information that are all true, but he sort of added them all together into this crazy concept of DNA water dissolution. So we know that that DNA or water dissolution is real. We know that you can store information inside of water. So why not DNA? Why can't you store DNA inside of water? We know that you can store something like a petabyte of DNA in a drop of water, or a petabyte of information in a drop of water. And I believe the entire human genome is it's less than a gigabyte. So it's not insane to think you could have many people and all of their genetic makeup and everything that makes them inside of a drop of water. So that's sort of the aspect we're playing off of. That's sort of like the concept we're playing off of water dissolution, where in order to perfect humanity, we have these multiple different people melding together, and it's up to you, the player, to decide what parts you want to keep from each psychic world in order to help perfect yourself. And of course, this perfection is all subjective, or it's all, it's subjective. It's all relative to you, what's perfect. So some people might find the hack and slash gameplay to be what they want to do. More of like a Dark Souls style gameplay, or, like a Skyrim or something where you it's a straight up action role playing game. So that we build it into the game basically so you could play like that if you want. And if you look at in the trailer, there's the part with shooting the orbs out of your third eye and trying to connect with another third eye, and that is what brings you into the turn-based RPG or the 360 RPG. So that is like the battle aspect where you can actually go in and choose. You talk to all of these characters if you like, and you choose what parts you actually want. So say in that instance with the spider, if the spider has something to say and you like what they have to say, if you decide that's a piece you want to add on to yourself as your character, then you can add them onto you. And it's really difficult to say if it will affect you positively or negatively because all these different characters are completely different and want different things. So I think that'll really come into play with all of the bosses. Our main first boss is the psychopath boss. So our first psyche is the psychopath psyche. So you'll be melding minds with a psychopath that you meet on the Prosopon in the multiplayer aspect. And that's when the first episode starts, the first paid single player episode. And within that, you're basically fighting all of his mental illnesses. So you start off in the schizophrenia level. And our idea with that was the imagery we really wanted to convey was spiders, spider tunnels, spider webs. And that's sort of like that feeling of having all of these different possible paths and not knowing necessarily which one is going to further you or which one's going to make you end up back at the beginning. So it's sort of almost like a maze crossed with a puzzle, crossed with this action RPG. And we went really into detail about talking to people from the psychology department and making sure that our levels are actually representative of the mental illnesses that we're trying to convey. So we talked to a professor about our schizophrenia, depression, anxiety and disassociation levels. So the schizophrenia boss is this spider woman who, stay with me now. So it's a spider woman. The entire schizophrenia episode is about this woman who basically made it to fame and had her child, and she started to develop schizophrenia while she was pregnant with her child. And she would be hearing music and voices. And so basically, the boss is this woman who is, as Rob says, pregnant with thought. So she's giving birth to this eyeball, which is, as I said, a very common motif within the game. And that's what you have to use to connect your orb and start the turn-based RPG. So if you're fighting this woman, if you're fighting this spider woman, basically you have the choice. Now you can run up with your sword and all of your armor, and you can hack and slash and kill it. Or if you decide, after going through this entire level, you really want to see, what it's all about, what happened to her, what kind of person she is, and see really who that person you met on the Prosopon, see who they really are, and if you believe that they're a part of a perfect humanity. Because I imagine some people will really want to read into it, and some people will just want to kill and go through and have fun. And I really like the idea that we can do both, and if you want, you can replay the game. And there's always going to be more to be found. There will be special items within the single player levels that you can then carry over to the multiplayer levels, sort of like I guess that's sort of like in Destiny, where you go into a different world to get items that you can then use in the matchmaking or multiplayer. So the other levels we have within the psychopath psyche, after that is depression. So our idea for that one is we wanted to play off of the river Styx. So basically we have, I can't remember the name of the demigod who takes you across the river Styx. into the Greeks' version of hell. But so that's basically, we wanted to use the river Styx and the boat on the river as our main sort of motif and visuals for depression. So we sort of made it into like a sewer. So the water is like fluorescent green, and there are skeletons inside of the water. So those are souls, dead people who have died, and were lost on their way to the other side, to afterlife. And if you read the Greek mythology surrounding it, within the river, there are all of those people who got lost along the way and couldn't make it to the final afterlife. So basically, as you're going along the river's going to drain, and you're going to be faced with all of these skeletons who have gotten lost along the way. And if you see in the trailer, we sort of show that. We don't show the draining, but we show the skeletons inside as you're rolling past and shooting orbs at them. So that's our depression level. And the boss is this, it's sort of like a teethy octopus monster with an eye in the middle. And I believe that's in the trailer as well. Let's see. Next level. My personal favorite, anxiety. So this is one that we really wanted to talk to a psychology person about. So our idea was, we want it to mostly take place within one room. We don't want the player to be running all over the place. So our idea, originally, it was, you go into this room, and sitting on a pedestal is this tiny little, like, brown and greenish sort of fleshy blob monster. And he's going to be sitting there shaking, looking all nervous. And you go up to him, and he basically says, you're in this white, perfectly square white room. And he says, this is my room, and it's perfectly clean. And this is how I want it to stay. And basically, you're supposed to overcome this blob's anxiety for it. Oh, it looks like we just got another donor, so someone will be getting a t-shirt. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Alrighty, so back to anxiety. Okay, so, and then after talking to the psychology department, they thought it would be a very good idea to include a sort of never-ending hallway. So that would be leading up to that room. And there were some other ideas of just having to, like, overcome the anxiety of this, tiny part of you inside of your head. And, it's sort of, the idea was that your anxiety isn't your entire existence. It's a small part of you that holds you back at certain points. And that's what we wanted to convey, that small little blob on the pedestal in that room. And you're giving it all of this attention, and you're giving it, you're putting it on a pedestal because it causes your life to change and things to happen so drastically. And you have to overcome it. So basically, as you're playing, it seems like there's this other anxious being that you have to, that's, probably kind of annoying, but really that room is you. That room is your head. It's all a metaphor. And the anxiety is, that little blob monster is your anxiety. So I thought that was a really cool, really interesting idea that Rob and I were both working on. Let's see, as far as disassociation is the last level. Oh, wow, we really got him flooding in. Thanks for joining us, guys. If you guys want to ask some questions, please feel free. We know that there's a lot of different aspects to this game, and it's really hard to explain all of it. So if you have any specific questions, please feel free to leave something in the chat or leave something in the Q&A part. We'd really be happy to answer. If you're just joining us, Rob is the creative director and studio lead, and Rob will be joining us very soon. But so basically, our last level in the psychopath psyche is disassociation. So our idea for that was basically kind of like anxiety. Most of the level takes place with the boss battle. So the most of the level we want to be like sort of a mirror maze. and then in finishing the mirror maze, all of the mirrors sort of drop, and then you see the screen come on, and the screen is what's on the screen is the boss. The boss is basically this character that's got a head of a mirror ball, and his body split down the middle is half man, half woman. So that was like a very literal explanation of disassociation. So obviously, this person is kind of torn between what kind of person he is. He's torn between who he is. The mirror ball sort of represents, he sort of reflects his surroundings because he doesn't really know how to reflect himself because he doesn't know who he is. He's disassociated. So part of it will be a text battle, I'm pretty sure. So part of it will be just reasoning with this psyche. And again, getting to the bottom of whether or not you would like to add him on to yourself, or you just want to kill him because you find that he's not part of your perfect humanity. So that, I would say, as far as single player episodes, those are the most fleshed out, the ones with the most design put into them, the most art direction, and the story is almost completely fleshed out. Mainly what we need to do for that is we need to go in and add all the dialogue and pretty much completely redo the UI for the RPG, the turn-based RPG, and many of us are still not happy with how the RPG works itself. So that, I believe, is something that we're going to have to wait and get feedback from play testers and alpha testers, just to see, what parts they like and what to take out. So I guess after that, if we want to continue with explaining the single player episodes, the next episode, the first episode was you're melding minds with the psychopath that you meet on the Prosopon. The second one, you're melding minds with the future prophet of a cult, or the prophet of a cult. And so we know a lot of people will say that the difference between a prophet, or the difference between a cult and a religion, is the guy who started it in a religion is dead, and the guy who started it in a cult is still alive. So basically, you meld minds with this cult leader, and this level, as opposed to being all about mental illness, this level is all about religion and philosophy, and sort of just looking across the entire span of spirituality and how people explain the world. So we have levels on Druidism. We have levels on Freudianism. I don't know if that's how you actually say that, Freudianism. The teachings of Freud. We have levels on. It's all basically gonna be small planets, like connected to each other, and each religion or philosophy or spirituality will be a different planet. Let's see. We had the Greek. Obviously, there's so many Greek motifs. We had to include the Greek culture and Greek mythology. So each one is pretty much going to be like a mini boss. And we thought it was really cool to structure the levels in a completely different way. So we have these like big overarching levels with big overarching motifs, but within those, we pretty much decide what we want to do. Like in the schizophrenia level, we have 3 sub bosses and a main boss. In the Tech Heaven episode, we'll have, I think it's going to be something like 12 or 13 mini bosses. So if everything pretty much in the game is based off of something, it's all got meaning. And if you are one to overanalyze and one to read into things, this is absolutely your game. And you should probably hit up Robert and get his phone number and start talking to him, because you'll become best friends. So he really wanted to design a game for the people who are interested in things like that, people who want to spend the extra time to see, what it is that these creators are trying to create and what they're trying to convey. And what's really interesting is the Tech Heaven episode. The layout of all the episodes are based off of, I believe it's the Kantian map, and I'm not really sure what Kantian philosophy is. That's more of a Rob question, but I've tried to, actually, you know what? In fact, I've tried to ask him that question, and he's like, I'm not really sure, but he uses it in the game, which is, I think, kind of interesting. He just takes every aspect of every possible interesting thing in the world and tries to put it into the game, which I think is really cool, in a way. And in another way, one could say that we may be spreading ourselves thin, but I like the idea that Rob is our ideas guy and Rob is our big picture guy. And he's the mastermind. He's the mastermind behind all this. He took all of the pieces that he believed were given to us already. He believed that there were pieces, laid before him, and he just put them together. And it was natural to him. And the way he explains it, it does seem like a very natural progression of adding these pseudosciences and philosophies all together into this big overarching idea of perfection of humanity. And I mean, if you think about it, really, what are people trying to do at any given time? They're trying to make themselves a better version of themselves. Most of the time, most people, most healthy people who are trying to, progress in life are trying to, make themselves a better person and trying to perfect themselves. So I think partly like that idea of just like this humanity that everybody has, and just the want to be better and the want to be accepted and the want to be just as good or better than everyone else. And that sort of plays into your feelings, into your emotions. And that's why we believe it's a really good overarching theme to have for our entire game. Because, obviously perfection is completely subjective. It's completely up to you, like I was saying earlier. Perfection, well, within this game, perfection can be anything. Perfection can be, you go through, kill everything, and you have fun doing it. And that's your idea of perfection, and that's your perfect game. And that's why we wanted to call it, that's one of the reasons why it's called A Perfect Year, because it's all about you perfecting your own game, basically, and perfecting your own gameplay and deciding what you find fun. Again, to anyone who is here, we are giving out t-shirts to anybody who donates during the live stream, regardless of what tier you donate to. So let me go ahead and give a shout out to our donors so far. Oh, unfortunately, it was a guest. Thank you, guest Many Numbers, for your very kind donation of $135. Wow, thank you very much. So that's one step closer to a perfect year. Thank you. So we will have to make sure that, I think you probably got a t-shirt anyway. So we'll have to send you some good stuff to go along with that. Alrighty. So let's see. After the Tech Heaven, this is sort of where things are less fleshed out. So mostly we have ideas and visuals for this stuff. So one big idea was the Ocean of Agape, and this would sort of be an acoustic level. So Brandon is asking how long the gameplay would take. So the multiplayer gameplay will obviously be, unending, but we would like the, and the other problem with trying to figure out how long the gameplay will take is, because there's so many different ways to play the game. There's the hack and slash style versus the style of stopping and reasoning with everything. So I think the single player episodes will take somewhere between 15 to 50 hours, depending on how you play it. If you're the 100% type of person and you want to go through and find all of the Easter eggs and solve all the side puzzles and see all the little side paths and everything, then, it'll take you 50, 60 hours to do one of the paid episodes. But the thing is, with these episodes, we want to basically, with each single player episode, release almost like a new game. So for absolutely quickly running through and decimating everything, I would say probably somewhere between 15 and 20 hours. That answers your question, Brandon. Now I'm wondering if you happen to be a Brandon I know. Hey, it is Brandon. Thanks for joining us, Brandon. At least we have one person in the chat here. Anyone else who's watching, please go ahead and ask us some questions. We know that it's a pretty involved game and there's a ton of stuff going on, so we want to be sure to clear the air on anything we possibly can. Let's see, back to Ocean of Agape. So Ocean of Agape, we wanted to be sort of like, if you remember, the other two episodes sort of had like their own overarching educational theme. Mental illness was the first one, and then the second one was religion and philosophy. So this third one, we want to be about like sound science and acoustics and music. So basically, Rob explains this a lot better, so there's something having to do with, there's a specific type of shrimp, a pistol shrimp, that when it cracks its claws underwater, it can crack them so hard and so fast that it creates like a sonic boom underwater. And then something that having to do with being underwater, and I'm not sure what else, maybe water pressure or something like that. It creates basically a small sun, or like a really intense light, just from this pistol shrimp cracking its claws. So that is called, the science of that is called sonoluminescence, or sound light, and basically within the Ocean of Agape, there's going to be all of these underwater temples, and each temple is going to shoot off these sonoluminescent beams, and it's going to be playing basically a different anthem. Each temple is going to have its own anthem, and you have to go through the temple and sort of, at this point, I'm not really sure if we've got really into the story on that one, but we know that we want it to have to do with these temples and sounds, and we want each temple to be a completely different type of music. Like we want one to be, classical. We want one to be tribal beat. We want one to be a hip hop beat. We want one to be, I don't know, guitar. But so we want that level to be just about learning about music and what makes it what it is, and about sonoluminescence and about acoustics. And I believe there's going to be like sound wave puzzles where you have to bounce sound waves off of different things and get them into a specific spot. So we really want puzzles to be a big thing too. If I had to say, I think about this all the time, because people try to, regardless of what you're making, people are going to compare your game to other games. So I like to try to control that by thinking of the games myself. So I've got like a list of like 4 games that I believe were a combination of. I think that sort of the single player aesthetically is sort of Dark Souls. I think that the hack and slash gameplay is sort of Dark Souls. I think that thematically we're sort of Psychonauts, and Psychonauts was a really big influence on us, and it's probably the main one we're compared to. So Dark Souls, Psychonauts, and then I like to say that the multiplayer slash single player aspects are sort of like Destiny, whereas in so that you have the main multiplayer hub, as well as all of the single player single player external aspects. Oh, let's see if that's Rob. So Rob is just getting back from the gym. He says he's rinsing off his stench, and then he'll get on the mic. So let's see. The last single player level that we're developing currently is the Desert of the Real. And that's one that is so far it's been completely Rob. I'm not really sure what's going on in that level, to be honest. I do know that it's a desert, the desert of the real, and it has something to do with like geysers and oasis at the end. Which I believe is towards the end of our gameplay trailer, because we have a whole section for unfinished and in development worlds. Yeah, so if you take a look at those, you can see at the very beginning of that section of the video is Tech Heaven, and it's kind of self-explanatory. It's like a small planet, like a small rocky planet with cool technological looking features like antennas and pylons and things like that. So that aesthetically is probably my favorite looking level, which I cannot wait to get people in it and playing on it, which will be really cool. So other than that, we sort of also just wanted to explain what you will be getting as a donor, and how that compares to what we'll be putting out later on. So as a donor, you're guaranteed a spot on the multiplayer alpha, and as depending on what tier you want, I believe the first tier you get the first episode free, or it's one of the first 3 episodes. So that in that case, you get to choose between Psychopath, Tech Heaven, and is it Ocean of Agape or Desert of, one of the two? Because we're gonna be putting out things in seasons, so each season is gonna have 3 episodes. So yeah. So the as a donor, like I said, you'll be guaranteed the single player, or guaranteed the multiplayer aspect of the alpha, and we'll sort of use that, all of you guys from the Kickstarter group, to aggregate all of our information and figure out what to keep, what to change. So you guys are sort of going to be our play testers as well as, actual play testers in real life. But it's kind of it's a different thing when you sit people down with the intention of them play testing a game, because they're going to try to break it, and then they're going to complain if something's not working because you're the developer, So I think there's a huge difference between that and watching someone play candidly without, them really knowing. So I think that'll be really interesting, just to see what people do and see what people like. So after the alpha, and most likely we'll have a beta, the game in its entirety, the multiplayer section, we would like to release for free once you guys have helped us to continue finish developing the game. So we the big thing we wanted to stress with that is we want the multiplayer to be like a social experiment, which I was explaining at the very beginning of the live stream, is we want you guys to be able to take all of your interests and all the things you like to do and all the things you want and all the things you want to talk about and all the things you want to teach people about, and we want to take those and put them into the game. And like I said at the very beginning, there's a tier where you get a whole entire room in the holographic history hall devoted to a subject of your choice. So, maybe if you want people to learn about, Michael Jackson era or Michael Jordan era Chicago Bulls, you can. If that's really what you want to add to our game, please do. And we just really like that idea of people adding their piece to the game, which a lot of AAA titles aren't able to do. They're not able to get that deep into the community and really just figure out what people want. I mean, of course they can try, but they can't get to that deep personal level that we are able to as a smaller company. And as far as the single player gameplay, we want to have a total of 7 water memory worlds, and they're going to come out in seasons. So each one of those water memory worlds are going to be paid. So that's our business model there. That's where we're making our money. We have all of our fans playing on the multiplayer, and then the single player will all be paid episodes. So yeah, within those, I've already explained the single player, and I'm not sure how high the turnover rate on this live stream is. But I guess I can just try to re-explain a couple things. We have, by the way, anybody who donates now will be receiving a free t-shirt. So we have, I believe, we have 2 people who will be receiving free t-shirts. Oh, I'm sorry, just one so far. One person who will be receiving a free t-shirt. But that person contributed to the 125 tier, I believe. So that comes with a t-shirt. So we will be definitely adding on some really cool stuff for them. So like I said, if you would like a Perfect Year / Hypostatic Studios t-shirt for free, added on, regardless of what tier you add to, we would love to send you guys a t-shirt. So let's see what else is on the agenda here. Yeah, so we were talking about how we wanted to definitely redo the RPG aspect, the turn-based RPG aspect, because basically the way it works now is, like I was explaining before, each enemy has a third eye, not necessarily where you expect a third eye to be, but the third eye is somewhere in a key point on their body. It's like it's a weak point, pretty much how every boss in every video game has the one weak point, and you have to figure out how to get to that point. So basically, you're going to be shooting these mind orbs from your third eye, and once you connect to his third eye, then you basically go into this RPG world where it's pretty much like if you guys know how those turn-based RPGs work, battle RPGs work, you sort of go into a different world, and then you make your first turn, and you can rotate 360 degrees, and you go all the way around the enemy and decide what point you want to attack. So in doing so, parts of the turns will be dialogue. Parts of the turns will be sort of, I'm sure some enemies will want to bargain with you. They'll be like, please don't kill me, and you'll have to decide what you want to do. So that's where it basically, you never know if reasoning with the enemy is going to get you a positive or negative result. But positive and negative is subjective in the game, because when I say negative, one of the things that will change is your character has a more dark look to him, which is a thing that a good amount of games do, but we would like to add it in as many ways as possible. We'd like to actually change cell shaders for the levels, changing off, changing like the actual overarching style of a level, just based on, say, one decision you've made, and we want it to be like very gradual, so you almost don't even notice as it's happening. But if you were to go back and play the level again or something, you'd be like, wait, this is completely different than how I ended it. So you'll be picking up different armor along the way, and that armor will basically be having to do with what you do to get it. So if you hack and slash all of the enemies, they'll drop, maybe black and red pieces of armor with, points on them and spikes and shit that just looks evil and sort of gives off that feeling that you've, had to maybe do something wrong to get to the point you were at. And then say if you were to stop and reason with everything and you don't want to kill anything, or you want to talk to every single player and just, add them on to yourself, then, you would start to take on other attributes. You might get, say, like, you might get a glowing effect on you, like a godly sort of glowing effect, or you might get, like a cool wooden staff instead of a pole arm with a crazy blade on it, So I imagine most people are going to play somewhere in between. I imagine most players will probably start out by hacking and slashing, because that's what's natural to most people. If, like, say, like in a Skyrim, you go through and you you maybe some people sneak around, some people are very brazen and they just go straight in and they want to kill everything and tank it up because everybody has their own play style and we want to support that. So the we're still waiting on Rob, huh? Let's see what else we got here. So we really like the idea of having a bunch of different aspects to our multiplayer as well. So we have the bust-to-bust fight arena, which is sort of like a we want in the end to be VR. So in the end, we want it to be like a VR fight club where you have the HTC Vive with the wands, and you're sort of like controlling your punches and ducking and dodging out of the way of other people trying to fight you. And the way that we're trying to implement that on just normal PC, if you don't have VR, we would like to do something sort of like where you swing your mouse to aim punches and things like that. We don't want it to be just like a side scroller, Street Fighter style. It's Rob. What do you mean, Brandon? What's Rob? Is he around? Or you think it's because we're still waiting on him? Yeah, it is Rob. True that. Hopefully he'll be on soon. At least he's home and he's getting ready. Yeah. So the bust-to-bust fight arena is, I think, a really unique aspect that most games don't have anything really like that. Because a lot of people talk to us about it and they're like, well, how is this fight arena going to work? Because people don't really want to go in and play a side scroller fighting type game unless that's what the game is all about, because other games do that so well, like Mortal Kombat, Injustice, even Dragon Ball Fighter Z. All those do it so well. The side scroller fighting with 3D graphics even, and they all look very well. They all look really good and play very well. And we don't want to compete with that, and we don't want to be compared to that. But the other thing is we wanted to make something completely different. We wanted to make a fighting mechanic that people haven't used before. We wanted to give you a level of control that you tend not to have, like especially on PC, but just in games in general, where the actual like speed at which you put your mouse forward changes the power of the punch, and the angle that you move your mouse forward will obviously change where your fist goes. And we really like that idea. We think we have two ideas for like one idea for like a matchmaking, and then one idea for like a casual sort of multiplayer. And the bust-to-bust would be like that casual sort of multiplayer where it would take place on the Persopon, on our hub ship. And you would basically just go into this room, and you can see it's like right at the beginning of the trailer. The fight arena looks really nice, by the way. Nice reflective marble floors. So that would be a room on the Persopon. And basically, we would like you to just be able to walk in and begin kicking the crap out of whoever you want. And that's just going to be like a small aspect. And you're going to get, you'll be able to unlock certain things by playing. And maybe if you get a certain amount of kills in a row, you get a certain, if you get a certain kill streak, you get a new item, or you get to, I don't know, something like that. So we want to integrate that into our multiplayer, as well as the matchmaking aspect that we'd like. We want to do sort of like a vehicle battle. So within the game, you're going to have basically three vessels. Your main vessel is your Greek statue, and that is the vessel that contains your water memory fluid, your DNA fluid, that the thing that makes you, all the stuff that you've acquired from other enemies, and what you had to begin with, obviously. So that's one vessel. So basically, you in the game are this water, and this water is being used to control these other vessels. So another vessel that we have is basically like a flying spaceship, and so that will be used to take you from one single player world to another. There's a quick shot of those, not in motion, but but static in the gameplay trailer. But the cool matchmaking aspects that we really want to do would be the marble mech racing and fighting. So that would be like a vehicle-based matchmaking, where we would have different levels that are maybe some are sort of based off of racing, some are more based off of maybe we have like a free-for-all shooting match where everybody's got their own personalized color on their marble strata statue, and that's how you tell the difference between enemies, because they all look different. You know, we'd have a team death match. Maybe we'd have like a territory type game, you know, where you have to stand in a certain territory for a certain amount of time for it to, you know, pop over to your team. And then if you get all the territories, you like that sort of thing. But we really like the idea of not using a humanoid, because it's just done so much. There's so many multiplayer games where you just play, you know, this human soldier, or, you know, that's really what it is. It's like just different variations of human soldiers, you know, Gears of War, Halo, Call of Duty. It's all just soldiers with guns shooting at each other. And we thought it'd be kind of cool to have like a similar sort of game, but in a completely different way. So it'd be the vehicle gameplay. Does anybody have any questions? I see we've got like 15 people in here watching. Does anyone have any big questions about the game? Does anybody want to donate and get a free t-shirt? That'd be cool too. We are absolutely down to give out as many free t-shirts as we can if it means that you guys are donating. Let's see. Hopefully we should be having Rob pretty quick. He's about half an hour later than he said he was going to be. Mm-hmm. Oh, Rob's here. He made it. All right, you got to go live, man. You got to make the split screen. You remember how to do it, right? It's funny that we're both on the same account and you're watching your account live stream. It's cool though that Kickstarter sort of builds that. They know that people are going to do that. They're going to have multiple people working off of one account, so you can do split screen live streaming. That was a mouthful. But I believe if you're logged in to the creator account, you have to go to that thing off to the left, that menu off to the left, and click Kickstarter live, and then go on air. And then it should just push you in. Here we go. About to have the team together. I mean, shit, at this point, Rob's not going to have much to talk about. I went over every aspect of the whole game. We still working, Rob? So I guess we're also trying to figure out what to give people who donated during the live stream, because this person who donated to us so very kindly donated above the t-shirt range, so they're already going to get a t-shirt. In fact, they will be getting alpha access to the Prosopon Hub World, which is our multiplayer. They'll be getting alpha access to all the content from the first season, which is our 2 Ego episodes, which are the Tech Heaven and Psychopath Psyche, plus the one demo Water Memory World that we have. You will receive a 3D printed Strata statue. As you can see in the trailer, we have our Strata statues that have the different color schemes, and we want that to be part of like your customization, your character customization. Oh, is Rob coming in?
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Why is my camera not cooperating?
I don't know. It says like waiting to cam or failing to cam or something. Almost got you in there. Okay, and then the rest of that tier, so you get the 3D printed Strata statue. so each one will have its own different coloring on it, so they'll all be limited edition. You'll receive an exclusive in-game item for your imaginary armory, whether it be piece of armor, weapon, or our what are they called? Homeopathic remedies, which are kind of like potions or food or that sort of like a consumable within a game.
Yeah.
You'll receive a signed concept art print from yours truly. You'll receive a jewel case copy of the Hypostatic Studios soundtrack, which is made up of a crazy plethora of different types of musicians.
Yep. And you can go to rackmyl.org if you want to get a sample of Rick Scott, one of our composers, his craziness, his audio craziness.
And of course, you can get a good taste of it in the trailer. The first 2 songs you hear are by him. You'll receive a Hypostatic Studios hoodie. Oh, okay. So this 125 tier, you will also receive a free t-shirt. You'll be getting a hoodie and a t-shirt. And you will have your name recorded in the Compendium of Psyches inside of the Caverns of Elithia with your own personalized ego epitaph. So basically, you get to put your own personalized message up on part of the multiplayer. And you get an exclusive multiplayer skin, so people will know that you were in on the game from the very beginning. Oh, we just got another donation. Awesome. Let's see who this was. Oh, we got another guest. Well, thank you, guest. You will be receiving a t-shirt. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guest 713 ... other numbers. Oh, and it looks like Rob got pushed out again, unfortunately. Looks like he's trying to figure that out. Hopefully he'll figure that out soon. Yeah, so thanks again. You will be receiving a t-shirt. I'll have to, before I forget, I'm gonna have to write that down. Why don't you go ahead and say us something, give us something to shout you out by in the chat. Thank you for your very kind donation. You got guest 713-13497. Thank you so much for your very generous contribution. That is super awesome. Yeah, so hopefully we can get Rob in here and you guys can get a little taste of his craziness because, oh, there he is.
Hey, what a perfect timing.
Get a little taste of his craziness.
A very wet Rob appears.
See, Brandon's in here. We're talking to Brandon.
Yo, Brandon. Brandani's.
Brandani.
You still running Brandani's from Six Flags? Did you set up a new Brandani's in the Six Flags?
Yep. I don't think he ever worked for or ran a Brandani's,
but in spirit, that is his establishment.
Yeah. You see how we're going. We're really going on the Kickstarter. We got a good amount of money just during this live stream.
Ooh, nice. That's awesome.
We got $160.
What?
Plus
one live stream?
$165 so far just from random people. So
wow.
That's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
we really appreciate it.
2 free t-shirts to give away.
Nice. Yeah, we're going to make them look very classy. We have connections to 2 different t-shirt printers, so we'll start pressing them out as soon as the launch date comes.
Yeah.
It'll look very classy. I think actually we've both worked for both of them at some point. So
what's that?
The t-shirt printers.
Oh, I've worked for multiple places that can do that.
Oh, nice. So yeah.
Wait, you worked for the Hub?
No, I didn't work for the Hub, but the place I worked, I don't want to say, I don't know if I can say their name or whatever, but did
you leave on bad terms?
No, it was that was one of my favorite jobs. But I was buildings and grounds worker at that place and helped set up the print shop and moved all the parts and stuff. It was fun. Yeah. Fun times.
So did you see the one question that was submitted to us?
No. What is
You
it?
didn't see it? I'm going to throw it up. Okay, here we go.
What do we got?
So that's them quoting us. Hypostatic Studios is an experimental game development startup comprised of an ecstatic collective of game developers. Did you mean eclectic? Or are you really so intensely rapturous?
Oh, we're
so
rapturous. Right.
So I said, well, we chose our words very wisely, but definitely both. Like,
yeah,
we're definitely just in a constant state of rapture as we're working on a game. And,
screaming.
We're also eclectic as fuck. So
yeah, very true. Also, esoteric for another E word. Got to throw that in there.
Eclectic, esoteric, ecstatic,
enigmatic,
empowered,
enigmatic. But
the inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Yes, but
I've been
what's it called?
Down the fort for the past hour.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, sorry I'm so late. I got trapped at the gym.
I don't know how I did it. There's a couple points where I was like, fuck.
What do I say? Where's the script? I can't read the script. We'll do it live.
Script. We don't script. This is all off the dome.
Yeah, we're freestyling.
I've got some notes. Like just a couple notes.
Just a that should be in the Now You're Speaking My Language grimoire, which you can get.
Page 1 of notes. There's page 2, but we could. You want to we could do like how there's the Kurt Cobain book of like all of his old notebook entries, and we can do like all of like the concept and ideas and shit like that all in one book.
We probably have a lot of stuff. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff for the summer that we could throw in there. All our crazy drawings and like sketching out Tech Heaven and stuff, because Tech Heaven's like a neural network set after the Kabbalah tree of life.
I explained. I said Kantian map or some shit. Kabbalah tree of life. That's what it is.
Yep. He's like setting up like a neural network in his brain shaped like the Kabbalah tree of life, and every Sephiroth sphere / neural node is a different world based on a different religion. So yeah, and you have to like meld with the digital deities of those religions and decide whether to destroy or incorporate them into yourself. So definitely. You get to learn. So you get to learn about theology. You get to learn about science. You get to learn about psychology, music making. Like
I think I probably explained like every possible aspect of the game.
Well, you've been freestyling for a while.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I went through like the entire video, the entire new. Oh, what the fuck are you drinking? What is that? What is that?
I think this is normal. This is just some mix. I could get.
This it's just some protein powder.
Yeah, this one's not oh, where's my phone?
It's not Soylent. Brandon's like Soylent.
Yeah, I could get the Shrek Swamp. Oh, here's my phone. Let's see.
Soylent White. What's Soylent White? That's what I want to know. Because Soylent Green is people.
Oh, I was going to say what?
Yeah, because the movie Soylent Green.
Yeah. I thought Soylent themselves made an offshoot like Soylent. I was like, it's already white. What? Let's.
Soylent White is made of old people. Or how about Scandinavian people?
Very specific.
Yeah, no, people from really dreary, white, cold places. Snowy places.
Extra resilient. Still have more protein in there.
Yeah, it's like One Punch Man.
I found for our fans, here's a picture of a recipe I made. Shrek swamp soup.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, leave it right there. Don't move it. Yeah, it's all. We got raw vegan meal, green tea, liquid aminos, turmeric, black and cayenne pepper, apple cider vinegar, cinnamon, creatine, mustard, nutritional yeast, etc. Absolutely disgusting. I believe we went over this recipe on the last Kickstarter live.
Oh yeah, well, we gotta let them know what they're like, the type of cooking they're gonna get if they do the $7,000 tier, and when they come and we cook for them. Like, you'll have other options. People like will cook human food too, but I'm gonna try and cook some post human food.
If you donate to the 7,000 tier, the Mercen Prime member will fly you out. We'll fly you out to Rochester, and Rob will be your personal chef. Hopefully, he doesn't give you botulism or food poisoning or anything.
Plenty of all the nutrients at once.
Every single possible one. Like you put liquid aminos in it, but that's not necessarily something you want to just use as like a A drink. It's supposed to be used like soy sauce.
Yeah. That was so gross. And the nutritional yeast flakes just going on. It was a taste.
You know what I like to do though? This one's actually really good. I have this chocolate plant-based protein powder or meal powder with like all the different like all the main nutritional stuff you need in a day.
Nice.
So I'll take that, I'll mix it with almond milk and coffee and peanut butter and mix it all up. That shit's good. Really good. It's really good. That's what I'll have that for breakfast sometimes. You know, I just throw it back and there's like all the possible nutrients and caffeine and protein, you know, that I could need for like half the day.
That sounds tasty.
It's awesome.
I also found out that coffee and coffee and hot sauce go pretty good together. If you want to give that a shot, if you want to just give it a taste, like I didn't believe it when I tried it.
Brandon, oh God, Rob.
Delicious.
For real. Oh God. You should be hearing oh God like at least 5 times a day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Keeps me in check. That's like my physics when you make like a self-driving AI like that keeps the car in line. Like all the oh gods are like, oh okay, I should get away from that.
Oh God.
My spirit guides. But let's see.
So
two people just left. They were like, "Nope, can't take it."
Aw. Bye, guys.
Thank you for stopping.
We've had Darren in here the entire time again.
Yeah, Darren is showing up again. Darren's
like our #1 fan. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, Darren's the man.
He's in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll have to get you a T-shirt here, man.
Yeah. Darren, did you like the changes that we've made to the Kickstarter page so far?
Yeah. Please let us know, Darren. We really value your opinion specifically. You gave us so much good feedback on the last live stream. Let us know what you think. If you've checked out the new trailer, the new 3-minute, 33-second trailer, triple threes.
Extra luck.
Yeah. I don't know. Is 3 a lucky number?
Tesla thought so. He thought 369 was like the secret of the universe or something. He's like the most important. Like he would circle houses like 9 times before going in. And like, like at extreme OCD
Who
about
that?
Tesla.
Nikolai.
Yeah, the man.
Another common theme from the last Kickstarter live talking about Nikolai Tesla.
I just saw the band. Oh yeah, wait, was that after I had seen Tesla? The band open for Styx and Joan Hart.
That was before. That was before we saw the band Tesla.
Oh yeah, saw them.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 minutes is definitely better. I basically took all the gameplay stuff that we had and put it into one trailer, and I put it into like very clear different sections of the multiplayer gameplay, single player gameplay, and then all of our aesthetic shit at the end. That's like levels in development. So
yeah. It's really interesting. It's really interesting how it doesn't feel like it lost anything really though. Like it actually, I feel like it looks the same. It's weird.
It's got all the same stuff. I just really, a lot of the shots that were in there were just like, you know, a 20-second shot of one thing. So, you know, you can cut that down to 4 seconds if you want.
Yeah, you did a really awesome job editing that up. That's tough.
Yeah. No, that was fun. I put like from the 15-minute trailer, that was my basis. I put probably 25 hours into re-editing that trailer into the 3.5-minute trailer. Damn. And the other main thing that people didn't like was that the, you know, it's like one of the first things you see is black screen with white text. So I changed that to sort of have that pretty much it was like an excuse to put extra videos, like slip extra videos in there, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, it looks miles better now. And I checked for typos because I've been dropping the ball so much recently on typos.
That's right.
Like, I have to show you guys, we made these promotional business cards for the game for, you know, just passing them out and stuff. There's literally 3 typos on the back of this thing. Uh-oh. On the subject of typos. No! Where is it? Where is it? In the stretch goals. That's you, Rob.
Here we go. Oh, no. That's right.
Yeah, that's you. Oh, that's an image too, right?
Yeah, that's right. We'll get that fixed up by tonight. I need to deal with those anyway. But thank you. That's important.
Thanks, Darren. We really appreciate that.
That's a purposeful typo because id tea. We drink a lot of green tea around the studio, and it fuels our id. So that's on purpose.
Okay.
You just yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to take it with a grain of salt.
Salt in your tea and hot sauce.
Literally, that's probably insanely hard to read, but let's see. It says sci-fi RPG that takes plique within metaphorical psychic worlds may be completely molded and shaped by you, the player. And then, so that's 2 right there. And then here there should be a period after experience, because that's like the end of a sentence or whatever, grammar.
Good thing only
the design is cool. That's our oil paint background that we use on all sorts of stuff. The design is really cool, if I do say so myself, and it's on like this really nice linen style paper. So I just totally dropped the ball and wasted a bunch of money, but that's okay.
we didn't have any
Gotcha.
There's just typos everywhere. You got to fix
I hope
typos.
not, man.
That could be like a thing. You got to fix the typos for the future humans, just to
We'll
like, oh no, we don't want to.
Literally, we can put an Easter egg in the game, like based off of all my fucking typos.
You got to stop the typos from overtaking your like talk screen or something. Like you're trying to talk and just typos are appearing. Oh no!
And the messed up thing is like I've always been really good at spelling too. Like I was in two spelling bees in middle school. I got second place in one.
No, you're like the Rocky of spelling bees. You need to.
No, Brandon. See, it's not even a note full of typos. It's like pictographs. It's like hieroglyphics that he does. But remember how we were watching that video the other day, and they like Dennis totally ad-libbed that part where he was like reading Charlie's note. that was so legendary because the scene was supposed to end there. Yeah, exactly. That was so cool. The scene was supposed to end right there where he's like, no, I'm not going to read this. And he's like, all right, let me read this. I really wish I could do something like that. Like work on a show that like, it's all your friends and you're the guys producing it. So if you feel like you want to ad lib some shit, like it's totally, you can take that liberty because it's your show.
You freestyle for a half hour and you're like, all right, we need to move to the next scene. But that was,
no, this is going to be the freestyling episode.
Are we going to freestyle right now?
No.
All right.
No.
Okay. We're not going to do it.
No.
Let me see. Let me see if I can get you a line. Let me hold up.
No thanks.
Let me think about what did I learn today?
What did you learn today?
I'll get back to you on that. Let me think a little bit. Give
anything?
me a half hour to prepare my freestyle.
A half hour. I don't think that's a freestyle.
Doesn't count.
No, I think a freestyle's it's like the opposite of that. It's like you don't have any time to prepare.
Every rapper's freestyles are completely off the top, off the dome.
Well,
all right, let's talk about
freestyles and there's freestyles. But
true. Kubla Khan's Pleasure Dome.
Kubla Khan's Pleasure Dome.
Yeah, you ever had
no, Rob, continue on that. Keep trying to rhyme.
Lead into
I'll lay you down a sick beat.
Lead in through a Prosopon's hole that I call my home.
It's a freestyle, but it has microtransactions.
Yes. How would that work? That's interesting.
Darren's a cheeky one.
Yeah. So you could only get like it would be like censored at certain parts, and you could only unlock the full freestyle for paying. That'd be pretty cool. I dig that.
You gotta. If someone donates within the next 10 minutes, I will drop everything and write a rap for you guys on the live stream.
That's a promise.
How's that? If we go above 616 within the next 10 minutes, I will sit down and write a rap for you. And then I'll call it a freestyle. I'll be like, this is my freestyle, and I'll throw it up on YouTube. Be like, this is my fire mixtape I came up with off the dome. But it's going to be like so perfect, it's obviously untrue,
Well, we've got Kalen, our vaporwave rapper, who is he still making a track? Didn't you say he was making a track specifically for the one of the sonoluminescent sound temples?
I think he's going to. He will. I don't know if he started on it. But
Yeah.
the person who's really good at freestyling is Seth. Like,
oh yeah, Seth is crazy.
Kalen's thing mainly is his sound engineering and his audio engineering, which he's phenomenal at. And then Seth is like more of the vocal talent, from what I understand. But obviously Kalen's got really good flow and good lyrics. But
yeah,
Seth's just got that Brooklyn flair.
Here we go. I'm gonna look up. Let's pitch Kalen's page right now, so you can check out some of his awesome vaporwave rap. Hey, that's what I like to call it.
I think he usually goes by Phoenix or PHNX, but I believe he's trying to change everything to just be his name, Kalen Roy.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, it is. He already changed it. Yeah. So it's KHALENROYE, no spaces on Instagram, if you want to check it out.
I'll put it in the chat. Kalen Roy. That's how it's spelled. So that's pretty much his handle on everything, Instagram and SoundCloud, if you want to check any of those out. He's got some really good trap stuff. Like I'm not a rap person whatsoever, but but subjectively it's really, really good. I like his stuff. Goes really hard.
And there's Rick Scott's page if you want to hear some of his acoustic experimentations.
My favorite one that he's done for us is in our trailer. It's like the second song in the trailer, and it's like that crazy experimental electronic track. It's really it always gets me pumped up. Every time I listen, I'm like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Everything that it's like behind sounds so much cooler.
I feel like
it makes all the videos that it's behind sound so much cooler or look so much cooler.
He put so much effort into those tracks, and he was really iterative about it too. So he'd be like, he'd send out like 3 drafts, 3 different versions, and then it'd be like, what elements do you like from this? And then combine them together, and then like add
your video's
violins.
Disconnecting.
Save me.
Yeah, it looks like your connection is pretty terrible.
Wow.
But I can hear you. I can hear you at least.
What do I pay the Wi-Fi warlords for?
What do you don't pay them?
Yeah, I have to pay them protection money. They know
it's like when you have a storefront, and you got the mafia guys. They're like, be a shame if something happened, pay us the protection fee and nothing will happen.
We'd hate to have to cut off your connection, put its head in your bed or something.
Cut off your connection. Yeah, like the horse. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you just have a Wi-Fi router all bloodied up in your bed, just like,
You wake up and start screaming. Hey, thanks a lot, Brandon, for linking in Kalen's SoundCloud.
Nailed it.
Yeah, Kalen Roy. Fantastic musician. And he's like, oh, you're back. I can see your beautiful face.
Hey, what up? So on the topic of, I just came back from the gym, and I'd like to plug intermittent fasting for everybody. It's always good. Everybody, intermittent fast with me. We'll all fast together. We'll not eat for like a day at a time, live all together on this thing. Let's do it. You want to do that? You want to turn the? We're going to do a 1 day. What's it called? Live stream before the like the final days of the Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. So we should not eat the entire time. We should go full Gandhi.
Just sit down at the computer and not move. Just have like a large jug of water and that's it.
Yep, that's it. We're gonna do it. We got to go Kafka starving artist on him. Put ourselves in a cage.
We could honestly schedule it now. Never go full. Oh yeah, don't want to go full Gandhi because that would end in some pretty poor circumstances. But
you see how lean he was though after? Like it worked.
Damn that body, man.
Yeah.
He's really fucking lean now.
Yeah, that's the physique I'm going for. That post life Gandhi.
Post life, the post life physique. It always makes me think of the cover of that Rage Against the Machine album? You know, the self-titled one of that monk who lit himself on fire.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's some pretty deep shit. Like in protest, he literally
shit.
he lit. Well, no, he killed himself though. Like he like sat down, you know, and just like lit himself on fire and like meditated through it and just died, all for protest. I believe that was in the 90s during the LA riots.
Oh, that was in LA?
I believe. I think it was during the LA riots. I think there's more Buddhists in LA than there are anywhere else besides China or Japan.
What? That makes sense.
Well, it's like China, Korea, and Japan are like the only ones that have like traditional Buddhist temples, I think, right? Or at least just China. But there's people who practice it, obviously, in Japan and Korea. But
is the New Age? What were you going to say?
No,
I can remember what I was going to say. I was going to say, is the New Age wave strong where you are right now?
The New Age wave?
Yeah, like
in San Diego? Well, more so than Rochester, yeah. It's definitely a very different type of people.
Have you ever seen Good Mythical Morning do the, it's like, I can't remember the dude's name, the breathing techniques that are supposed to make you hallucinate? And it seemed like Rhett got a little sketched out.
Kind of like Kundalini stuff?
Yeah, it's like you almost like induce hyperventilation, and it's supposed to make you hallucinate a little bit. And actually, the Rhett and they do like crazy stuff like eat the hottest pepper and stuff like that. And it seemed like Rhett got a little sketched out. He was just sitting there a little like, what the? What?
There's like Kundalini meditation is apparently one of the only other ways to have like to like release DMT in your brain like naturally and like control it kind of. So yeah, a lot of people will relate a DMT drug experience to Kundalini meditation. Like that's the only way to do it. You know,
that's pretty crazy.
On the natch, as they say.
Get your nooch for the natch.
You know, that's a term that I heard Alex Gray use, on the natch.
On the natch?
Yeah, it's like being sober, being not on any substances.
Does Alex Gray does he know what that is?
What?
Does Alex Gray even notice like to be natch? He seems like he's just tripping all the time.
Oh, I thought you were trying to, like, the point you were trying to make was, does he even know what tripping is? I was like, are you insane?
No, the opposite. Like, does he know what being natch means?
No, I bet he's the kind of person who practices, you know, just the most insane level of moderation. I bet he does it only at like opportune times.
Only in his crazy.
What's up?
I was just gonna say in his House of 1,000 Mirrors or whatever that place is.
Yeah, the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors.
Yeah.
My cousin's been there.
I always wanted to go
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that place looks awesome.
Brian's been there.
Yeah, I was jealous.
Brian Healy. Yeah.
Oh.
That's really cool. He saw a concert there.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be insane.
I did. Gotta be Tool.
What was I gonna say? But he apparently, so when he was in like his 20s in college, he used to shave half of his head like down the middle. You know, he had like one half was super long and the other half was shaven. And apparently that's caused like some long-term like coloration problems of his hair. So if you look at pictures of him now, he's got fully grown out long hair, like pulled back into ponytail most of the time. And one side is completely stark white and the other side is like salt and pepper. It's really interesting. Yeah. It's like weird. It's almost like the DNA was gone so that the hair didn't have like a precedent of color to use. So it had to like create its own precedent, you know, and like it just didn't know what to create. So it just created nothing and it was just white, you know?
Weird. Billy Corgan should look that up.
Billy Corgan. Yeah. He's probably going to be completely white if he ever grows his hair out.
That'd be interesting.
He should never grow his hair out. He already looks too much like a baby man.
He's just got like the light baby hairs going on now. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's so weird. I bet he was probably shaven because he's like naturally bald.
Yeah, I think I still don't know why he ever did that, but the one dude at the gym, I was telling him how my grandma's like her ride or die songs are Nelly's Grills and Bullet with Butterfly Wings. Like my grandma can rock and rap.
The world is a vampire.
Hey. Oh yeah, but speaking of DMT, did you see Alex Jones's thing where he got pissed at Joe Rogan and he's like, the DMT, I've got plenty of DMT. I dream it every night.
I tend not to watch or listen to anything by him. I don't really like that guy.
You should look up the Ping Trip rendition of his thing though, where Ping Trip takes like he like makes supercuts of things and makes them like ridiculous. And he made it like Christmas story time where he's like, I know about the clockwork elves, Joe Rogan. I know. It's crazy. He's
way too over the top for anyone to take him seriously.
Yeah.
Like, he should not. Like, Alex Jones should not be taken seriously in any way.
I feel like he's like purposefully discrediting himself. Like, I don't even know.
Honestly, I don't think he's purposely discrediting himself. I think he has that whole thing about him, like to make himself seem interesting and get like, publicity, but it's part of his not, shtick. It's working against him. It's like that whole Tom DeLonge thing of like, if you really want people to like take you seriously and learn about something that's happening, you can't have like a celebrity's name attached to it because it just immediately cheapens it.
Or at least Tom DeLonge, like Tom DeLonge. Or at least
Tom DeLonge is one of those people who just like reads into everything and thinks he's like in the CIA. He doesn't want to be Alex Jones doesn't want to be taken seriously by sane people.
Interesting marketing tactic.
Yeah.
But if they got like
wants to sell supplements to crazy people. Gotcha.
But I bet if they got Tom York to talk about some alien shit, people would like take it way more seriously. Like people would be
it would just be like singer of Radiohead believes there's aliens. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's all you have to do is just phrase it like that, and then no one will take it seriously.
They'd be like that asshole who wouldn't collaborate with Miley Cyrus. Like,
why would Tom York ever want to collaborate with Miley Cyrus? That would cheapen his entire repertoire.
Exactly. Like, what was she expecting? Yeah. Let's do it, Mike. She did get the Flaming Lips, though. Like, I think they did like an album together, which is pretty nuts.
The Flaming Lips barely exist anymore, dude.
Yeah, I think the Flaming Lips were just on another world, and they'd be like, "That'd be cool."
Well, it's like there's two Flaming Lips now, right? There's two bands, pretty much. They split up. They split off into two bands, but there's like legal battles going on, where like they talked about it in Portlandia.
That's funny.
Because it was like one was like the singer who was like the main guy who branched off, and he's like, I'm the Flaming Lips, so if I get other other people who play instruments, it's still the Flaming Lips. And then the rest of them were like, no, we're the entire band. We're just gonna get a new singer. We're the Flaming Lips,
That's some Wayne Coyne-ish for sure. Just like
Wayne Coyne's like, fuck you.
Yeah. But check out this Instagram of like my wife in a thong or something like that's like.
And on the Portlandia episode, they had the same lawyer. So the lawyer was just like talking to both of them at the same time, like trying to, get rid of these legal issues.
Did they actually have the Flaming Lips on there, or just as?
Yeah, they had both of the bands, like the two Flaming Lips.
That's awesome.
I don't know if all of that is completely true, but that'd be fucking hilarious if they're like that amicable with each other that they could do a comedy show about their stupid infighting.
That's the type of band drama that I like.
Yeah. You can at least joke about it.
Mm.
Well, so it looks like no one took advantage of our freestyle opportunity here, so I will not be writing you guys a rap song, unfortunately.
He was all ready. He had his pen and paper out.
I was about to sit down and write a rap for you guys if that's what you wanted, but
want me to pull up some Cynicism Central?
From Cynicism Central. To anyone who is just joining us or has joined us recently, again, we are offering during the live stream, if you donate at any tier, any amount, we will send you a free t-shirt.
Nick and Terry Melchior are listening to you.
Really?
And a rap.
I think so.
I'll send you a food rap from my Parappa the Rapper days, where me and my one friend were obsessed with Parappa the Rapper, so we wrote like our own little booklet of food raps. I could probably go up and grab one right now.
You have a booklet of food raps?
Yeah, from the Parappa.
Oh my god, go get it, please.
Go get it? All right, I'll go get it real quick.
Go get it. What do you mean? Of course, go get it.
Be right back.
I hear we've got some family friends watching. What's up, Nick and Terry? Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate that. As you can see, we've got a hell of a project going on here. And we've got a good friend of ours, Brandon, tuned in, who, if hey, there's Brandon. But I don't know if anybody who is currently listening, listens to our podcast, but Brandon has been a guest a couple times, and he's a really funny ass dude. Brandon is, I like to call him a roller coaster tycoon because he works at Six Flags, which is pretty cool.
Nick's funny. You should have him.
Oh, here he comes. He's running. He's got the food wraps. I'm excited. Do you need me to lay down a fresh beat for you?
What'd you say?
Lay down a fresh beat for you?
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it was exactly where I left it when I was like 12 because I haven't rearranged my room since I was like 12. So
I'm not gonna beatbox for you, by the way.
Not gonna beatbox. Let me just get my flow.
No, that would sound terrible.
What? This is already trash.
Oh, you know that's going in Now You're Speaking My Language. I think we definitely have to put Now You're Speaking My Language up just like on a marketplace somewhere after the Kickstarter, just so people can have access to that, because
yeah, true.
Really, the world needs to see it.
Yep, that's important. All right, here we go. People from around the world come and get it. The line goes around like a merry-go-round. If you're hungry, simply line up at the end. Come on, people, gather around. We got everything you want from all around. Just around like 4 times.
Yeah.
You watch
it's whack.
Yeah, you watch the grill, control the flame, guys. Follow the rules, stay productive and wise. Rice is all we have in mind. We make the best. You'd better get in line. Now put it on a tray. Is it for here or to go? Any which way, it tastes good, you know. Oh, this reminds me of that Jamaican food health guy. He does like raps about like mangoes and stuff.
I have to watch that. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, mango. Yeah, like he definitely look up the revolutions. Oh, now it's getting deep. We're right off the rice. Revolutions all the time. People changing the world with crime, with violence and anger, hunger, whatever. I find that ridiculous, if not meticulous. I guard my own premise. This is the final chapter, no denying, so beware. Is it your desire to taste something good? That doesn't rhyme. You came to the right place. Yeah, damn right. What's this? A trick with a twist. That's what you'll be saying. This is the end of the song, and don't take me wrong. Yeah, so if you want to hear a rap and get fed by Hypostatic Studios, $7,000 on the Merced Prime. I'll rap to you while making that home cooked meal.
Oh my god! If anybody ever donates $7,000 at one time, well,
they're not going to know what they're getting themselves into. We're going to like.
You're going to be getting a Christmas card from me. That's for sure. For the rest of my life. Wow, we're up to 19 people.
Yeah,
this is definitely our best live stream so far. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
We're just saying again, if you donate within the rest of the live stream during the live stream, regardless of your tier, we will send you a free T-shirt along with the rest of your stuff.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Get a pretty nice value. Say if you do the $10 or the $25. You get access. If you do the $25, you get alpha access to pretty much everything. You get a signed concept art print. You get a special multiplayer skin so everybody knows that you're a badass. And then you'll get a free T-shirt if you get on it right now.
And
Rob, you've been drinking that for an hour and it hasn't been shrinking.
he's
pretending to drink it. He's just like,
no, it's like a chia pet or whatever those things are. It grows, so it's like it keeps up with I have it set at a certain pace, so it just keeps growing, so I don't run out.
dude, what if you had yeah, see, it is growing exactly. What if you had like a giant vat that was just like water and stuff with chia seeds at the bottom, right? So it's constantly growing, and then so the level is going to be raising, right? And then you can like just blend it and then add new chia seeds to the bottom, and then you'll create this superfood that's constantly regrowing itself.
You just solved world hunger, folks, live on the air. Thank you for.
That's it. There were no problems with anything I just said scientifically at all.
Nope.
It was all absolutely correct. Just like all of the very true science that we have in the game.
I was gonna say, if you wanna save world power, also help us make our piezo ceramic citadel. You see that one of the tiers is piezo ceramic citizen, because if we could make a sick dance floor made of piezo ceramic crystal and then harness that energy, if we all dance together, we'll get some solid power output right there. Like we don't have to work or nothing, just dance.
Hey, we just solved the world power problem too.
Yep. Power, hunger. You got TV
with our game,
and food.
We're solving the world's entertainment problem. I mean, we've got a monopoly here. We're just solving the problems of the entire world. We should be like duo presidents.
Yeah.
Co-presidents.
Yeah, could we get this on like some major news station right now? If we could only live stream.
Darren can be our vice president.
Yes,
because he's got lots of good feedback.
Yep. We might have to pull, in order for us to both be president, we might have to pull some the Throbbing Gristle Genesis Peerage thing where they combine.
Every time you say Throbbing Gristle, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. That's
like it's like viscerally sexual.
Yeah. But yeah, Genesis Porridge, or however you say her name, like P-Orage is spelled weird. Like try to combine bodies with their like wife at the time and like become one entity. So you ready? You ready, Brendan? We're gonna do it.
No, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to have me as your pat back?
Do you remember on Invader Zim how he had Pastulio? Do you remember that?
Oh, was that his
that giant boil growing off of his like neck or whatever? And then
didn't know how to name.
He started to like hypnotize people once he drew eyes on it.
That's amazing.
Kneel before Pastulio.
Genius. We should get him as an artist on the team for sure.
We need to get Joan and Vasquez as an artist. We need to get that guy. What's the name of that guy who does like every voice ever? Like he does the Psychonauts voice and the voice of Invader Zim, and he does the guy from Stanley, and he does Billy from Billy and Mandy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he does everybody.
Invader Zim voice.
Yeah, what's his name?
Richard Horvitz.
Right, Richard Horvitz. He's so good.
Yes.
But I feel like we couldn't get him on the game because people would be like Psychonauts.
Oh, that would cement the connection permit. Like that'd be the nail in the coffin.
No, we should get Peter Dinklage. It seems like he's looking for work. In fact, I think he lives in this building.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
My mom's seen him in the elevator here before.
What?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It looks like he's looking for video game voice work since he got fired from Destiny.
What?
They fired his ass, dude.
Next time you see him, just ask him if we'll do one line. Like, will you voice one Strata statue? Just please, just say one. I know you guys screwed on the last one.
What do you need me to do? What can I do for you to make you do this? What do I have to do to get you into this car today? Slaps the roof.
That sounds super sketchy.
Memes.
Meme.
Slaps the roof of this mic.
It's a free house, free real estate. You just got to get the keys.
It's free real estate. It's free real estate.
Pick it up now. If you donate how much money it costs to build a house, plus a couple extra bucks. Yeah, like $10 extra, we'll build you the house.
Give us $250,000 $250,000 and $10, and we'll build you a house.
Hypostatic house. It's going to be crazy colors,
and we'll probably have to live there for a while.
Yeah,
until we get on our feet.
That's a great deal.
We promise it'll only be a couple nights.
Yeah, it helping us both out here. Yeah, jellyfish jams all night.
Yeah, exactly.
And
then you got your next door neighbors like shoving clarinets in his ears.
We'll build the piezo ceramic citadel together. Let's do it, people. I've got a friend who built a boat into the side of their house. Like, their family's obsessed with boats, and like they have like a shore house, and they're trying to make like a deck where it's just like a boat growing out of the side of their house.
You know who else's family's fucking obsessed with boats? Brandon.
Oh, yo, what up? You guys
they sold their third boat, and now they're just down to 2. or whatever, or 2 down to 1 or something.
Yo, you should combine forces it'll be the other half of the boathouse. It'd be great.
Oh, I thought you meant like combine the boat forces, like have double boats, you know?
Well, if they get because they're having the boat on the one side of the house, so if Brandon's family moves in and teams up and builds a boat out of the other side, they can set sail together. Like,
what if the house was a boat? What if it was a houseboat and then it had a boat attached to that boat, and then Brandon's boat was on the other side?
That looks so stupid.
And then we get a concert, we get a whole stage, and we get Lil Boat to come. Oh, there you go.
I just saw Sticks yesterday. I just saw Come Sail Away, so we're already halfway there.
Away, come sail away with me.
I got video of that live. Let me pull it up. It's a proof.
Is that copyrighted?
Oh yeah, we don't want to get hit with any copyrights, but I got at least
took the video, but it's, I don't know. That's a questionable one.
Yeah, Brendan got hit with like 30. Like, we were doing a stream, and he just had some playing in the background, like lightly in the background.
Music. Yeah.
And SoundHound ratted on us. Year of the
No,
Snitch.
YouTube.
But they were using SoundHound.
No, Spotify. What do you mean SoundHound?
Oh wait, I can't. SoundHound was Siri was using SoundHound to get us.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's
just like, it's like a dude who stands next to a computer all day with like Shazam at the at the speaker. He's like, "Oh, I recognize that one."
Yeah, that'd be funny.
that's like a whole like warehouse full of people. It's Keck.
It's Keck.
Keck is here.
How's
it going, man?
Glad to have you.
Keck's are one of our number 1 contributors.
Chatelet, friend. We should play Chatelet. Oh wait, we might get hit with a copyright thing for that too. That was like a song found on like what's it called? Like a vinyl from like the 60s with a frog on it, and like Chatelet is like the Pepe's anthem or something, so it's like a weird coincidence. We're trying.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's Kickstarter Live is all new, so we're trying to utilize it as much as we can. I mean, we've got 16 people sitting in here, and that's just kind of, we thought it was a really cool way to like personally talk to people about the game and answer any questions, mainly because there's so much going on in the game that, you know, people probably want to ask questions. Mm-hmm. And we just think it's a really cool personal way to get to know you guys and for you guys to get to know us.
Yeah, is there any water memory worlds anyone had any question about? We've got 4 in production right now, as you can see. So that's, well, actually 5. We have the demo world, which everyone's going to get for free. Janice's bicameral Mind Mountain. We've already got that completely set up. So that's the first level where the dying old rich man who has cryogenically preserved himself from our present time. He melds minds with a poor woman whose family saved her from the rapture at the end of the earth, and they're all in the spaceship together, and they're the first 2. You start out as those 2, so you kind of like decide if you want to be more masculine or feminine right there in that first level, and you combine forces, you combine psyches with each other, and have to go through the sunken city and the palace of privilege, which are overseen by Janus himself, the two-faced deity of beginnings and ends. He starts off your journey.
Janus, so, yeah. that whole Janus's mountain looks awesome. That's one of my favorite visual places in the game.
That's like one of the most vapor wavy sections. because it's kind of like
that's the tutorial level, right?
Yep, that's the tutorial level. And it's kind of got like the in the Sunken City, it's got like the dreams of the woman, because she was at the end of the world and she had like known about the project a little bit. But you start out as the old man who doesn't know anything about what's going on, because he just preserved himself and just thought he was getting like brought back as a human, and like he thought science was just going to bring him back pretty soon. But he gets involved in this whole experiment by accident, and he wants to leave. Actually, he's like, what is going on? And the other statues are just like, you're immortal now. You can't die. You can't leave. You're in the experiment. That's it. So all the statues are all immortal together, and they all have the water memory, and they get called numerologically in like a clockwork system that runs the prosopon. And you get like called, every person you get called to meld with is a different water memory world. And then the DNA trackers get taken off your water memory, and your soul solvent stats are up for destruction and things like that. All the internal effigies inside the water memory worlds, an effigy is like a representation of the self that is destroyed in usually like protests or symbolisms of things like that. So there's all these aspects of the self that are being dissolved to make a new self inside the water memory world, and that's kind of done by using quantum superfluids and DNA data dissolution, which we're going to be posting about the science of those on our Instagram pretty soon, and how they work to meld the minds. And they as the superfluid solvents rise above absolute zero temperature, they actually, because at absolute zero, superfluid helium becomes a superfluid, and it becomes like it acts like one giant particle and can defy gravity and do all this crazy stuff. It's like one of the only superfluids that we know how to make. And when it rises above
superfluid helium that you're talking about?
Yeah, So like the idea of water memory is that water can remember things like sounds and things that it's heard, and it decides the structure of ice crystal formation once it freezes. So once all the internal dialogue of your talking affects the water memory, and then when it rises above absolute zero and goes back to room temperature, your soul solvent freezes and it becomes like a lens, which they use to like look into the future and things like that. And then they like lift the two other strata statues will like lift the lens up and bring it over a new statue, and then when it goes to room temperature, it like melts back into your face, which is your prosoponic hole, because in Greek society, the prosopon was the mask used in theater, and the prosopon was like an acoustic amplification device that altered the way a person spoke. So it's all based on sound and things like that, and Greek theology tying it back into that. So you learn all about this cool history and the future and science and all that through the game. So hopefully we'll get the chance to share all of this with all of humanity, because it's pretty interesting stuff.
Hell yeah. So from what I understand, the turnover rate on the live stream videos is pretty high. Like the people we have at any given time are probably going to be mostly different from the people 15 minutes later. So again, I would just like to say that during the live stream, we're running a deal. If you happen to donate any amount of money, any tier, regardless, we're going to add on a free t-shirt. So if you happen to be listening and you haven't contributed yet and you would like to, now's a good chance, because you'll get a free t-shirt added on. And then I think we should just do like another basic overview of the game. Like a really easy way to do that is if you look at the trailer, which actually I wanted to ask Keck, because when Keck contributed, there was a lot of changes we still needed to make. We still had the original 15-minute trailer in there. We had, I believe we had a different thumbnail at the time. Actually, unfortunately, I think Keck is gone, but oh no, he's here. Cool.
Hey.
Yeah. So what did you think? Did you check out the new trailer at all? We tried to put together like a 3.5 minute gameplay trailer, because that seems like that's what people want. I mean, it makes sense because people want to see the gameplay. Yeah, please absolutely watch it. We can we can loosely walk you through as you're watching it. At the beginning, we put the Prosopon, which is the hub world, the main multiplayer vessel, which you'll be aboard with all of the other players in the multiplayer world. So from there, you'll be socializing with the other strata statues, and you can do other things like the bus to bus fight arena, which we were talking about at the very, very beginning of the live stream. The bus to bus fight arena is like one of the very first clips in the trailer, and that's that really cool clip of the panning shot with like the nice marble floors. I really like the like reflective marble floors in there, and then it goes up to the two statues fighting, and then there's like the first person perspective of like getting punched in the face, and that cool fractured effect. That's like one of the coolest parts of the video.
Yeah, people like that shot a lot.
Yeah, and we're talking about how we want the fighting mechanics to be really different from most fighting games, because it would be really boring if we just added we added Mortal Kombat to our game. We can't really just add another game to our game, because they spend so much time on just a side scroller fighting game that's what they do the best. They do it impeccably, and we want to that's part of the reason why we don't want to be compared to that. So we wanted to add like some different sort of elements, like hopefully in the end we'll have a VR aspect where you can actually put the dukes up and punch and bob and weave and duck and stuff. But for now, we want to, like, the idea we were tossing around was using like just your mouse, and then you use that to sort of like guide your fist, in like a completely different way. I don't believe many games have done that, if any.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. No, the only thing I can think of is I know there was like a Jet Li fighting game where you use the control sticks and like swung them around, and I think Fight Night had this too, where like to throw hooks, you'd like do the control, like the punches were used the control sticks. So we definitely, if anything, this is
going to be just more like directly physically, involved. That's what we want.
Yeah. So like you could, for one way we're going to set this up is like just have it like hit the D key, and then you control the right fist, and the A key would control the left fist, and then the other one would be movement. So this would be a nice simple way, because we have all the animations, as you could see. Like we have like some ridiculous amount of fighting animations. So it's there's a lot of moves that you could pull off, a lot of combos you could use to trigger those, and so that should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to that one a lot. But as you could see in the thing, the way that works is you basically fight each other until your statue breaks, and then all your water memory leaks out, and the entire Prosopon is like a soul solvent sewage system. So your soul solvent will get refiltered into a new 3D printed statue. There's like a giant 3D printer, like it's like a 3D printer vagina is what like we called it. And it is printing out all the new strata statues, which get filled with the water memory as the experiment progresses. So, so it doesn't like you're immortal on the ship because you have DNA trackers on everybody has DNA trackers on their soul solvent, so they can't meld unless they get those taken off in the cognitive dissonance chamber where you meld minds. So, you're immortal on the ship. So if you went and like say punched your friend in the face and their statue broke, then they just get refiltered and printed into a new statue. And actually how we want you to go around the ship is you go up, and then you release all of your soul solvent from your prosoponic hole, which is your mouth, into like a receptacle that then transports your soul solvent to another part of the ship. So you go up and like go up to a sink, something that looks like a basin, like a sink basin, and release your soul solvent into that, and then get transported anywhere else on the ship that you want. And like when the game starts, we want the menu to be an outside shot of the Prosopon, the entire ship, and then you pick a section on the ship, and then you go right in and just zoom in, and you just go right there. So we don't want to waste anybody's time having to walk across the entire ship, because we're looking to have just tons of sections in there. So quick travel through water memory. Very intuitive. And the water memory will carve carve out pathways as you play. We have it saved to like certain enemies you meld with affect your stats in certain ways. Like we have the basis of the RPG system set up at this point. And so like if you meld with a dark entity, it carves out that. So in your like your water memory well, then if you see on the picture on the site, our tech director Pedro has it set up so that the water will flow more deeply into that section of your water memory well, and you'll become more like that entity. So it's almost like the way that neuroelectricity carves pathways in the brains from repetition. Like if the more you do something, the deeper the pathway gets carved into your brain, and your brain starts making a shortcut to fire those entity. So it's all very memorable. But yes, and then the idea is that eventually at the like they're all trying to get everybody's memory together into the Mersenne Prime 7, which is why the top tier is called the Mersenne 7, is because they're going to be the future guidance of the humanity. Like they're because 7 is the Mersenne Prime used in the factorial equation to create the perfect number 8128. So they're going to decide what perfection is as a council, and they're the Mersenne 7 council. And that's where the astral arc is going to go. So if you want the astral arc to go deeper inside, deeper outside, certain section of space, like certain dimension, like it's all up for grabs on the Persopons. So get your water memory poured in real quick and help us guide this surreal adventure. Take a nice tall glass of water memory. Just chug it.
It's too bad we couldn't put that one part at the end of the trailer of you like drinking the
Oh yeah. Our original tech cult thing.
Yeah, see, Keck, that's the main issue is we need to be able to put out a playable alpha, but we don't have anything, unfortunately, super playable yet because we need the funds to make it.
Everything is playable, but it's in disjointed pieces right now because we spent so much
together.
Yeah, we spent so much time like getting all the different pieces set up that now they're all very disjointed, and they need like the hack and slash needs to directly connect to the RPG system. Because like right now, it's like you walk up and you bump into an enemy and you start melding minds with them in the RPG. But we want to have it where you shoot enough thought bubbles into their third eye and then it triggers the RPG. That's
Temtem was a campaign. Wow. So it's all just based on exposure. Okay. So basically they just got live streamers to talk to them or to talk about it. Is that what they did? They just hit up live streamers and they were like, check this game out. Okay. That's a very good idea. We'll have to just do that.
Oh yeah, and Keck, thank you very much for the list of suggestions that you made on our page. Those were awesome.
Yeah. The main thing that we really need to get into is talking to Twitch people and YouTubers, but we were just afraid to do that because we didn't have anything that was worth playing yet.
They could play the hack and slash. Like we could have people test out individual sections and stuff. We could send them like executables of all the individual sections, piece by piece type thing. But right now, I think it'd be better to explain, like we need to get a platform to explain the entire thing live, because I think as a whole is what makes it interesting, because on itself, if you just showed off the hack and slash, it'd be like, so you're making Dark Souls. It'd be like, no, we're not making Dark Souls. Like you also
about all the other stuff, you know?
Yeah. So we definitely, I think we should, I want to ask some of these YouTubers, can you watch the trailer live? And then like if we could get somebody on to let us talk about the project, because that's like I think the biggest thing that needs to happen. We just need a platform to get our voices out and to have people. Yeah, definitely. Like I want people to start sending these out and have them do a reaction video to the trailer, because I feel like there's a lot of content in the trailer, and it could just, but like I feel like just somebody like even PewDiePie just might say something like, "Oh, that's weird" or something, you know.
mainly recently we've been just trying to finish off our promotional content based off of everybody's suggestions, and then basically we're pretty much complete with it. I think Rob's got to finish the budget section, and then really it's all promotion from here, and that's why you see us here today.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to be doing this nonstop all the next month. So
we're going to try to do a live stream every 3 days. Yeah.
And then in the meantime, we'll be interacting with people. We're going to try and get a stronger Reddit presence, and Reddit and our Instagram presence is already our strongest right now. We have about 100 posts and 3,000 followers.
Yeah, just under 3,000 followers.
So if you want to check out, if you want to follow, you could get a bunch of story updates, visual updates on Hypostatic Studios. That's our Instagram.
That's our Instagram there. Obviously.
Wait, I got this.
Can you make it a link?
Oh yeah, yep. I'm gonna link it too.
Cool. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I mean, do you have any suggestions for Twitch people or YouTubers that do that kind of thing? Other than that, we'll probably just have to browse and hit people up at random. Yeah, that makes sense. Of course, yeah, we have to, it really is all about exposure here. We've got, a diamond ring no one can see.
A diamond ring in the dark. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll get on YouTube, get on Twitch. We have we started doing like Twitch streaming ourselves, but we didn't get too far into that. We were streaming Psychonauts.
Yep. We figured that'd be the one, since that's definitely our most, like, whenever we present, people are like, so it's like Psychonauts, right? And we're like,
It's got psychonaut motifs for sure.
Yeah, the psychology, like going into brains and stuff. But I think a big part of what differentiates ours is also the external aspects. Like, you do go into people's brains, but then you have the space, the super fluid space of the firmament that you go through with your mechs and stuff. So definitely a lot more multiplayer.
Brandon texted me.
What
did Rob just say 3D printed vagina?
Yeah,
that was like 9 minutes ago.
Yeah. Did he just send that now?
No, he sent that like 9 minutes ago. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I had to pitch that part during one of the Imagine RIT things, and it was super awkward. I was just like, so yeah, these Greek statues are just popping out of a 3D printer vagina, and then people were like, what? Hold up. we left that out of the next pitch. Because if you see on the original, like the 30-minute trailer, this section with all the crystals and like the fleshy look and the brains all over the walls, that's supposed to be like the ovaries of the Prosopon. Because the entire ship, if you see, it's set up like the Venus symbol, which Venus being the female symbol, and she's supposed to like give birth to the new humanity. So there's like a section which is like the underworld of the ship, and it's all fleshy and stuff where they store all the brains, and we're going to put all the backers' names in there. So it's like supposed to be like the backers' brains are in there because they're playing. So it's like everybody like just go down there and just read like, oh, this is backer number 2's brain, and their epithet says it does kind of piss things out. Like every time there's a mind meld, like a clockwork mind meld, you could see in the beginning of the trailer, it's shooting out all the water. It's because that's all the waste that's been dispelled from every experiment. So yeah.
Does the ship have a butt?
Yeah. So it can pee. That's important. That's biologically.
Does it have a butt though? Is the question.
I don't know. I think it can. I don't think it can shit. It can. Oh wait, maybe the dead statues. We'll shoot the dead statues out the butt, and the the water memory waste.
Waste evacuation unit.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good euphemism for it.
Yeah.
A perfect butt. Oh yeah. Did you see those statues? We put a lot of effort into making sure that is true.
And then you'll have your own sexy statue with your own color scheme on it.
Yeah. So,
and then if you donate to the right tier, you could get your custom skin too. People will be like, "Damn, where'd that guy get that skin?"
That's a weird comment. But yeah, and
like I just peeled it off of some other guys.
Yeah, like the
exactly.
lightsabers.
People are like, "Where did you get that skin? Who does your hair?"
Hypostatic Studios gave us this one. That'd be super creepy if we just 3D printed out like a layer of skin and be like, "There you go."
Holy shit! Did you hear about how there's like those guys who basically made it possible to 3D print guns?
Did they make like a new thing on that? Is like it's easier now?
Well, I mean, so at the beginning they didn't look like normal guns, but now they actually look like a real gun. You can print all the parts of an M16.
Ooh,
isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy. The world is getting more intense.
The world is a vampire.
Yeah. We should have my grandma on live to cover that song.
What does your grandma sound like?
She's got kind of like a Billy Corgan-esque voice, you know. Like I feel like she could nail it.
I don't need
vampire.
The world is a vampire.
We could get Billy Corgan. Billy Corgan, they scanned him in for Guitar Hero World Tour, so I don't see why not. Like, just
did they?
Yeah, so I don't see why not.
I mean, they had like the Kurt Cobain, didn't they, on Guitar Hero 3? But they didn't scan him, obviously.
I was gonna see.
He died way before Guitar Hero 3 came out.
he had that Gandhi body going too. They're like, this is.
What I never understood was like the dude who was dressed like he was from Kiss, but he was like super fat. Remember, he was like the main character.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to be like Danzig, and Kiss had a baby. And
Danzig,
dude. Yeah.
Danzig's not fat, is he?
He's like bulky.
Hershey Kiss. What about a Hershey Kiss? Where did that come from?
Well, that's it, folks. To our listeners, free Hershey Kiss with the next purchase.
We'll send you one Hershey Kiss because I want the rest of them.
That's
good. Dude, that's fucking clever.
Yep, I like that.
That's good.
Hershey should definitely take advantage of that.
Hershey Kiss.
Is anybody from Kiss still alive? Let's see.
Yeah,
you might want
most of them are, if not all. I know Gene Simmons is still alive. Peter Criss is, I think, still alive. That's such a weird name, though. I would hate to have a name that's two first names, Peter Criss, and it's like his last name is a more common first name than his first name.
Yeah. Lame.
Lame.
Typed in.
So Dan, you go to RIT, right? Are you in game development? Oh, you graduated. Okay, that's cool. What do you got going on now? Are you working for a sick studio or what? Interested to know. RIT alum.
Come work for us. It'll be like this all the time.
Yeah, Rob was in the game development department, and then he's wrapping up his own Kickstarter. Let's check it out.
Noise.
The Greatest Snake, a card game. Oh, it's a card game. Nice.
Oh yeah, yep. I saw you posted this on the suggestion thing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those.
Yeah, it's very
the card
very
games
well
are
laid
really
out.
Popular nowadays. Looks really cool.
So when you say wrapping up, it looks like okay. So nice. You reach your funding. Nice.
Awesome.
Congratulations, sir.
You got over 9,000. It's over 9,000.
Yo, you made it. You could just say that now.
Hell yeah. Nice job, Darren. We're proud of you.
Yes. Yeah, we'll look at your layout for more.
You got some really cool graphics in there.
Mhm. All very clearly laid out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really like that. I really like that mouse with the cosmic cape going on. That dude's awesome.
The cosmic cape.
On the Who Are We section.
That's pretty cool.
He looks like he get.
It's a good idea.
He looks like he should be a bad guy from not the Adventurers. There was another rat. There was a rat detective movie, and that they had that giant jacked crazy rat that they fought on the clock tower. I'm looking him up.
On what? What were you talking about?
They fought they fought this jacked rat on Big Ben.
What's Big Ben?
The clock.
Oh, wait, but who did that?
Me. No, I'm just joking. But in this movie, I'm gonna look it up. It was like a rat detective movie. Let me see.
Oh, what if it's just called Rat Detective Movie? The Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, it's close. Yep, that's it. Let's see what the bad guy looked like that. I remember him looking pretty scary.
The Great Mouse Detective.
All those like animations from that's from 1986. Yeah, the older animations were like pretty intense and scary, like Secret of Nim and stuff.
Dude, have you seen Fern Gully?
No, I still haven't seen that. I remember you telling me about that.
That's such a sick movie. It was like the storyline of Avatar way before Avatar came out.
I remember you told me that and it blew my mind.
Yeah, well, it's like the forest with the special beings who live in that forest and have like a spiritual connection to it, and then fucking douchebag humans come in and ruin it all.
Come on.
Yep. That's the way she goes, boys.
And they had Tim Curry as the oil smoke monster dude.
Yeah.
He's creepy looking too.
Yeah, that was a cool character. That's like mostly what I was referring to, like the creepy old 80s and 90s animation.
Ew.
It was like a pseudo Disney. Shit, you know what? You're right. You are right, Keck. So without humans, we would not have 8128, a perfect year.
Oh, yep.
That's true. But that's why they're trying to perfect humanity, because there's so many fucked up ones. Right? People like that one dude sitting behind his desk with his like floating unobtainium. And he's like, fuck it, just kill him or whatever, I guess.
Oh, in Avatar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. That's what I'm talking about. Shitty ass humans who fuck everything up.
Yeah, everybody what's the Chris Sully or whatever her name is? He was all right. The main guy in Avatar?
What's the Sam what's his name?
Jake Sully, there we go. Yeah. Jeremiah Camacho. Jeremiah Camacho, one of our old teammates, just had like a long rant on Facebook about how nobody can remember the Avatar names or like lines from the movie. Like he was saying they weren't memorable. And I was like,
Jake Sully.
And I was like, no, I remember Jake Sully's name and I just forgot it live. That's embarrassing.
What's the guy's name? I'm trying to remember it without looking it up. It's Sam. I can't remember his last name. He was just in this other show I was watching about the Unabomber. Sam.
Got any answers out here?
Sam. Dude, you know what happened today? Sam Worthington. But you know what happened today? There was another fake Tool release thing. I woke up to a notification from Google saying new Tool album with the name of the album, and I was like, I literally woke up and like screamed. I was like, what? Like they didn't even announce it? Holy shit. And then like I text Riku and he's like, nah, it's fake. And I'm like, no, please God. And I looked it up and apparently it was some SoundCloud rapper called like Tools with a $sign at the end. And somehow the $sign got taken out. I don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that was like a big thing that happened this morning.
Maybe that's part of Maynard's release scheme though. That seems like something he would do. Make some, like he's tying in Pucifer on this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was thinking if they're going to release it, they probably just wouldn't tell anyone. They have so much shit built up already. Like, they don't really even need to build up more hype. It's like they have all the hype in the world.
Yeah. But it seems like it's good news that it seems like the sexual assault charge got dropped on Maynard, right? That was a fraud.
I don't think anybody even really looked into it. Maynard was like, "This is completely fake," and and then no one. I didn't hear anything else after that.
Yeah, it was seeming like it was like with the Modest Mouse guy, where it was just.
It's really unfortunate how like in a world where it becomes more acceptable to call out your abusers, which is a great thing. You know, you have again shitty fucking humans who use that shit to their advantage.
Yeah, it's scary, like to be famous.
It's
at this
scary.
point.
Yeah, it feels like anybody of any power can just be pulled down at any second. Because like it doesn't even have to be true. It's just those allegations will ruin you. You know?
That's what happened with the Modest Mouse singer. Like his actual his own band. Like the allegations were disproven, but
Dude,
they had it
it's
like
so
the local.
fucked up that people can completely just ruin your life just with one little like with like a tweet or something.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like because
The world is
the local.
fucking scary now.
Yeah, really. Because the local papers had like, because news travels so fast, like all the local papers that started printing, like Modest Mouse's singer is like, and then that was it. Like, but it said it's taken him like years and years to regain his reputation after that point. But
Yeah, that's fucked up.
yeah, a lot of stuff was going on at the time of the recording of Moon in Antarctica. There was like supposed to be more singing, but he got like beat up by a bunch of punks outside of like his apartment complex. They just like broke his jaw,
Dude,
so he just
and
couldn't
it makes
sing.
it so much harder for the people who actually have issues and problems to get the help they need. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, stop it, people! Stop it.
Yeah. And people are saying everything is sexual assault nowadays, which I find kind of ridiculous. But maybe we won't get into politics.
But I also think it's interesting how I heard a case where there clearly was an instance of sexual assault and nothing was done about it. Like there's like it's crazy on the opposite side. It's like why was nothing done about that case where it clearly
But if someone
was.
finds out that, maybe or maybe not Johnny Depp may have done something in the 80s, like, that gets all the attention, but not the people actually getting assaulted.
Yeah, like the low level people. You gotta.
I mean, like, of course, if Johnny Depp did something, I'd want him to face justice for it, but, I just obviously you just can't know.
Very interesting. Until we get these mind melts going on, then all the history of the past will be revealed for future judgment, which is an interesting concept in the game. The concept of eternal hells and things like that. Because once people are immortal and once people could read each other's minds, it could be interesting. You're gonna want to.
Things will be way better if people could read each other's minds. No one has any hidden agendas. You just say what you mean, say what you feel. You don't even have to say anything anymore. You just know what to do for people, right?
Hopefully, it would like open up a wellspring of tolerance and acceptance, and also preventative measures for mishappenings, things like that.
Well, Joe Rogan seems to think that we're going to be able to read each other's minds within not too long.
What'd he say?
I mean, that was about it. He's like, I think within our lifetimes, we'll be able to read each other's minds. And I think within that time too, something will be done about jobs and the fact that, an advanced society is moving towards no one having to have a real menial job, right?
Yeah, we just got to make it to the end of the human race.
Well, yeah, universal basic income, pretty much basically just giving people the opportunity to do the things that they're good at and the things they want to do, right?
Sounds nice. I like it. Robot working class. It was funny Tesla, Elon Musk talking about the importance of like safeguards for AI. And he was talking about like, imagine a AI that they were like a strawberry picking AI, and all they wanted to do was pick strawberries. So they turned the entire world into strawberry fields forever. And I was like, yo, that's a great reference. You're the face palm.
Living is easy with eyes closed, misunderstanding all you see.
Is that a Tool lyric?
No, that's Strawberry Fields.
Oh, that's true. Oh.
Living is easy with eyes closed. Boom, boom, misunderstanding all you see. It's getting hard to be tuned, but it's all right. Yeah, great song.
Mm. We should
Doesn't
see if
matter much to me.
it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy if we could make an in joke about that in the game. Make a reference.
No, we'll get
to
our
Elon
asses
Musk.
sued.
Well, that's
I
what
thought
we,
you meant. I thought you meant the
gotta get-
Beatles.
Yeah, we got to get the licensing for the track. All
Dude,
our
are
budget.
you kidding me? Do you know those are the most expensive tracks to fucking license?
All our
It's
budget.
either $1 million or $1 billion per song. I can't remember.
What? That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Because Michael Jackson fucking owned it.
Oh,
yeah, we can have an Elon Husk.
Yes.
Dude,
that's great.
killing it with the fucking puns. I love it.
Seriously,
A
that's
man
quick.
of my own heart.
True.
He's
that's what
he's a matrixer. He thinks it's a matrix. The blue pill.
If we could make that reference happen though, he might he would probably join up because he started dating Grimes because she made like a joke about like an AI joke that he liked and he was like, "Oh, okay, she's cool."
Dude, Grimes though.
Yeah, I approve of that. I ship them.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting combo.
Yeah, Elon Musk and Grimes, huh?
Got
like, let's see, who would that be like? Like, what about like? I was about to say Miley Cyrus and Russell Brand, but Russell Brand was literally married to Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit.
I was thinking like Henry Ford and let's see. Who's
Warren Harding and fucking Francis Cobain.
That's a cool combo.
Even though Warren G. Harding is long dead, but
I ship him anyway.
Frances Bean Cobain is so much like her father and like into death and shit that she like digs up his body and it's like, I'm marrying this body.
No.
Harding is my soulmate.
Oh God.
I feel like I'm a reincarnation of his wife. Red flags.
Well, on that Tinder profile, that's a swipe left.
Hey, if you guys are wondering how a perfect podcast goes, it's this. It's pretty much this.
Yeah, just talking about random stuff like this.
If you guys are at all interested, you can find a perfect podcast on any possible platform you can find podcasts, including YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Pocket Casts, everything. Stitcher.
What? Oh no, what's the site we were using to look up random pictures for a while that got taken down?
Stumble Upon.
Yeah.
And then now it's Mix.com and Mix sucks. I literally for the whole episode 6, like the whole like first like couple minutes, I'm just like bitching about how Stumble Upon got shut down. Like, God damn it. And like I got an email the day before we did that podcast saying Stumble Upon servers are shutting down. Try out Mix. I'm like, fuck you.
There was some good. We came across some good conspiracy theories together on Stumble Upon that time.
Yeah, we looked up a lot of shit. Randoms.
And then we got the Aboriginal DNA popped up on the last one.
Yeah, that was on the Mix one, where we went on Mix. That's when we were talking about the Tool song 46 and 2. What were the other are they called autosomes? Like, so basically instead of 44 autosomes and 2 sex chromosomes, the Aborigines have 46 autosomes and 2 sex chromosomes. And apparently that gives them this extra connection to each other and to the place they live and stuff.
Interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, it's I don't know if it's like super quantifiable like what it does, but
that is super interesting though, because obviously like a difference. So
that means in a way Aboriginals are more advanced humans,
or at least different.
They have they have a different amount of autosomes that just makes them like almost a different species.
Australian Somebody was just working with them and said it was super interesting. Like they went to Australia and lived among the Australian Aborigines for a while, and they said it was really interesting.
I don't know. We did get a donation from a guy in Australia.
Oh, yep. Thank you.
What was that guy's name?
Please donate your autosomes.
That Perry Isles. Thanks again, Perry.
And then we've got, speaking of all this crazy DNA stuff, we've got my the Life Writer is still up for grabs. Nobody bought that last time. Let's see.
Put it back up. Yep. And again, the t-shirt thing, guys. If you donate during the live stream, we'll send you a free t-shirt. We've got 2 takers already on this live stream.
If you donate, how much you think these things go for? How much these little Life Writer? These are some 3D printed DNA typewriters.
If you donate to the $25 tier right now, you get your choice of the Life Writer and a t-shirt and a free motherfucking t-shirt.
Come on, look at this thing. You could type out
$25 tier right now.
A whole new world.
Whole new world.
Let's see.
It'd be a whole new world, guys.
I got a bunch of playing cards over here. We can send these out too. We've got, what do we got? Amiibo sites. What does that even say? What is this?
I don't know. You like to make up words.
Quorum sensing? Let's look
quorum.
I don't even remember what that meant. Let's see.
What the fuck is quorum?
This is a project that did Darren, do you remember Eloise Oizon, the Wheeze? Says a quorum is a minimum number of members of a deliberative assembly, a body that uses.
Oh, nice. He said he sent her an early copy of his game.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, this was this. Yeah, Wheeze was the. We did the Life Writer project in her class, and she also oversaw A Perfect Year for the first entire summer. And like we were always like at her house chilling. And
I wasn't there, unfortunately. I wasn't on the team yet.
Good times.
But if you guys are wondering, I'm the art director, so I'm not a game dev major. I am an illustration major.
Let's do it. Oh yeah, we got some like theoretical nucleobases in here, like P, Z, and yeah. So this is, you want to get ahead of the curve on this DNA 3D typewriting stuff. You better get yourself a Life Writer.
Thanks,
team.
Brandon, for the Snapchat of myself on the live stream.
Hey.
Thanks, Brandon. Thank you. Loving it. You still here, Brandon? I see you're on the list, but
Beatboxing.
Well, are you about ready, Rob, to end the stream for the day?
Call it a night. Yeah, I can get on fixing up those typos and finalizing the page for our spam, the unleashing of the water memory well tomorrow. Let the spam begin.
I'm going to call you after this. Just some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we need to talk about this private information, people.
Like, private info.
If you want to get in on the private info, though.
Mercen Prime, 7,000.
Yeah. Yep.
You'll get on our Slack channel or on our Discord.
Yeah. Exactly. But
all right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so incredibly much. It was very fun. Thank you, guys. Yep, you've been ousted. So we're going to try to do this every 3 days. So on 48 hours. So Wednesday night will be the next one. So if you guys have any other questions, be sure to add them to the Q&A part, because you should be able to see it on the page. Thanks again, guys. Thank you for our awesome contributors during the show. That was fan-friggin-tastic.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you guys in a couple days.
Thank you.
Laters.
Hypostatic peace.